Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And we are so thankful to have Mahito back from his production of Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron. Great job on that film, Mahito. Thanks for coming back and just killing all of our friends in Shibuya. So let's see what happens on this episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. In the middle of the TODO, YUJI, Mahito bout. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know.
I don't know if it'll be this episode, but we've talked about before how we think that Mahito's gonna get sucked up by Geto.
Yeah.
That's been a very clear
That must happen. I feel like if that's gonna happen this episode, or like
There's only
not
3 episodes
Geto,
left, including this one.
It's either gonna be this one or the next one. Like at the end of this episode, not Geto is gonna show up and like come back, and then that's gonna happen next episode.
And if he does, that would mean that Mei is dead. Probably.
I don't think she would stand a chance against him.
Unless they ran. And they might. Mei is very self-preserving. Maybe she sacrificed her brother just to get the fuck out. Because if Geto is yeah, you're right. If this is going to happen, he would need to. She would because the last time we saw, they were facing off in the tunnel, and then that was it. So she's all about money. She's all about self-preservation. So maybe she got out alive, but I doubt it, honestly. And she wasn't as beloved a character to like need to see her. Like it's not like Nanami, you know.
Like she could have it off screen.
She could fight and be defeated off screen for the reveal of Geto showing up and taking out Mahito or taking in Mahito. Let's see what happens this time. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon for uncut Jujutsu Kaisen reactions and getting ahead on our other series. Let's go. What the fuck?
That's disgusting.
Are you fucking crazy? Is Todo okay? He was touching him. Holy fuck. I wonder what he did there. He just brought him there. He didn't even switch places.
He switched Yuji and him.
Did he?
Yeah.
He wasn't. I didn't think he was that close to Yuji. Okay, Buggy, relax. What? By combining souls. So did he like I guess he like, oh, it's like Parasite. They're doing some Parasite shit with Mahito. But this one's gonna be different. That's a bit more. That might be 1.
Yeah.
So it's just an amalgamation of like transfigured humans together into some weird Frankenstein's
I think he
monster.
some of his soul.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah. It looks like Makara and like Hanami, like that style of shit. That's not good. That's why the amalgamation's important. Yeah, so it seems like he wouldn't put his soul in something that weak to die. But he just puts like a bunch of people together. He always kisses that thing.
I know. I think it's a locket, but I can't tell.
I wonder if it's from Yuki. Why do you laugh?
I was
the blonde girl. You think about Fruits Basket?
No, I was thinking about. I couldn't remember the name of that like idol girl that he loved, and so I was just imagining a picture of like that like idol inside the.
Actually, I think you're probably more right. I wonder if the rest of the Kyoto crew is gonna get here this episode. Maybe at the end of the episode. And that'll be like the tide shifting, just enough for them to all like run, now that they've done all this damage.
Maybe. I just feel like they're not gonna get, they're gonna get there like way too late.
Yeah, well I mean it's already way too late. But like, with Hanami and Jogo gone, Sukuna's, you know, done for now, seems like. Maybe he'll pop up again, but... Oh yeah, and they added that, all this city all destroyed there. To the OP. Before they were all of Yuji's buddies were standing there, but now. What? It's over. Oh, but Sukuna.
Do it!
Yeah, you tried it before. Wait, what? Wait, what? Did I miss something? What the fuck was that with Gojo? I'm probably not thinking of the right thing. Like what Gojo did in the subway. Simple domain. Big time. Oh shit.
No.
What?
Oh boy.
No, 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 no. What a fucking badass cutting off his hand. Oh no!
Oh my god.
What a fucking Chad. Look at his face.
Shit!
Alright, time to clap your cheeks again, big man. Oh, don't ever. Oh no. Really? What the fuck? I am at a loss for words with how much I love this fucking guy.
It's just defeating him with the power of love.
But all he needs to do is get touched once. Is this a finale for him? I love how he's holding up the hand that he's missing. Give him a high five to switch. Holy fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh, from the touch. Yeah.
Holy shit.
What happened to clapping your little cheeks there, bud? Todo is the fucking man.
Is Geto gonna show up?
Yeah, it's time.
Just as he's
Just as he's evolving.
Yeah.
Just as he's evolving. Yo, Mahito. Oh. What's this new form then? What the fuck? Don't give me that Frosty the Snowman shit right now. What? He just turned into, like, sharp-ass Hanami. Yeah, what is different? We got a lot to look at after this. This just makes it more obvious to me that Mahito's gonna get absorbed because, like,
after he got a huge power up, essentially.
He not only gets a power up, but he also looks more like a stand, like a Makara thing, like. Ah, shit.
Thought I got him in the eye or something.
Yeah. But he's still at low power. He just went through a metamorphosis. Oh, shit.
It's not looking good.
He's just letting him.
Like the sewer or what?
Yeah. Broke into the water main. It's just a hole in the ground, I think.
Look at his teeth.
Mm-hmm. He's scared. Oh, he just weakened himself more by...
Perfect.
Are his teeth permanently going to be exposed now?
No, he'll heal up.
First comes rock. Saisho raku. John! Ken! Literally hits him with the Jujunken. Oh!
Come on.
Oh! Not until today, bitch. He's doing it. He's literally doing the Jujunken! That's the pose you need if you're trying to hit a Black Flash at will.
Mm-hmm.
No way he's gonna do it. Look at that fucking...
Oh.
Divergent fist Black Flash. Yeah, I think he hit it there.
I'm thinking
or was
Black
that just an impact for it? It looked like it went all red and black. That's why I thought that. Stop leaving me out.
What are you doing? This is Hunter x Hunter right now.
Literally, a clap comes from the soul.
Oh my god.
The similarities have been like, you know, oh, Nen and Curse Energy. He's literally quoting. Oh, but it didn't work?
It was a distraction.
It was a fake out, yeah. There it is. He's fucked.
Does he even have any more? He's out.
You literally exhausted him. What? Is this his domain expansion or something?
It's just the vibe.
This is just the vibe.
Whoa.
YUJI has gone through some character development. It's over, big man. This is so fucking sick. Wow, it's a bitch move. Fucking Mahito's voice actor is on a different level. On a separate level from others. Ella, 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 a.
You.
We called that shit so
I
hard.
know, I just still hate it.
We called that shit so hard.
I love how every episode is just like named of the like part 2 of the other one. Mm-hmm. Like every episode has like 25 parts to it.
Yeah. Hang on, I want to see what did he say there at the end again? Let's just rewatch that one part.
Nonsense.
Fake destinies or contrived destinies. I don't know what the fuck that means. Maybe it has to do with like fucking YUJI being like a science experiment. You know, if he's not quite human, his destiny would be contrived. Maybe, I don't know. That end scene with in the snow. Of course, they pull out Mahito doing the bitch move of putting the rock in the snowball.
Yeah.
That's like classic bitch, schoolyard bitch move. Bitches do that.
As he's crying like a baby.
Yeah. That was that voice act. That was insane. He's been killing it all season, especially like since he's been more of the focus. But still, that was great. That was like not even any words, no words. Just again like the way they framed it up with like the animal sort of allegory, and then to be like animalistic like that is it like you really feel, and it communicates really well how on empty they are, you know, like how this is like the end of the fight is they're reduced to, you know, predator and prey, like this animalistic kind of thing.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And TODO just like getting completely destroyed,
but going full Netero with the golden light behind him as well. Like, this is literally, like, I mean, come on.
I know.
I love that. I love the clap comes from the soul. That was fucking sick.
Bro just watched Hunter x Hunter before coming to Shibuya today.
Yeah, I'm glad we finished it by the time this season came out, because like it hits so much harder when you know, and when Yuji's doing the Jujutsu pose, he's like charging up a Jujutsu. Like it's so obvious, like the signposting of what Gege's doing there it's so fucking great.
It's also really interesting because I kept thinking Mahito, like at the end when he was really destroyed, it was really looking like Kite weirdly. Like I don't know, something about like because his face was like extra like kind of like
At the
thin.
end?
Like, yeah, when he was all... Like,
there he looks like that
hair.
weird bird girl creature. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I can't think of that.
I think
But like,
people will know.
I guess just like his hair, just like looking all distressed. I don't know, and like something about like that pose too. I don't know. Yeah, that was.
It's a crazy transformation right before he's about to get fucking. Right before Geto's about to throw the master ball on him.
Yeah.
Probably don't even need to waste a master ball on him.
No,
at this
that's
point.
what I was thinking. I'm like, he's pretty destroyed.
Save the master ball for fucking Sukuna.
Imagine how shitty Yuji's gonna feel. It's like he just like he could like if he had just been like one hit faster before Geto showed up, then like we could have just been done with this, and now this guy is gonna get to come back and be a menace over and over again.
Under the direction of somebody a lot more
Calculated,
cunning
Yeah.
with their strategy and tactics. You know, Mahito obviously was really good at made a lot of good decisions in battle, but was very driven by his whim, you know, and now that's going to be basically taken away from him, his entire desire, and is going to be focused with the intention of somebody who has been living for
hundreds at least,
probably 1,000 years, you know, and been able to escape any kind of detection and obscure their actions for that long.
With Todo, I loved that fight scene with Todo when what's that girl's name?
Takeda-chan.
Yeah, when she shows up in his I love it. It's like Todo's imagination throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
Just a disclaimer.
I love how they like I keep thinking that they're going to like surprise me, because like it's the second time they did it, and like this time and the time before they did like this crazy. First of all, his hair kind of looks like a red spider lily. I never realized that until now. But his like whenever it's just like
Whenever you
to
think
go into this insane thing, it's just like it saved him every time. And in the Hanami fight as well, it's like it's pulled him out of some shit every time. He just goes full schizo mode and starts imagining his favorite idol like fighting alongside him like a magical girl, you know, whatever. Like, so I just keep thinking this show has been so brutal. How are they letting him get away with this? Like and then he literally touched Mahito on purpose. And I don't get, does he, I feel like he does need to clap, because like I was confused, because there was a time his hands were like this, and then I made the joke about him clapping his cheeks because he disappeared, and then this time he's like a clap comes from the heart, and then he did it, but he was like, oh, my boogie woogie's already left me, meaning like he didn't have enough in him to do it, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was just it ended up being a good distraction, but I didn't get the impression that was his intention. But maybe it was. Maybe it was.
It kind of seemed like it to me, but I could...
Acclamation of soul. Oh no, yeah, no, it was no. I thought he was saying this. I blanked out for a second. It's unfortunate. My boogie woogie is already dead. Shinderu. Because the fact, like him reacting to it seemed like he was planning on switching them somehow, but no, I don't know. I wonder what the deal with his hand's gonna be now, because it's not damaged, right? It's like transfigured.
Yeah.
Because he touched him on purpose.
But
so,
it looks almost like burnt, so I don't know. Like maybe they could make him some kind of like glove.
Yeah, because
like,
what I'm saying is like if he touched it and it actually burned him, then with reverse curse technique they could like heal it. It would be scarred, but it would be healed. But if it's transfigured, then his permanent like DNA essentially has been
Altered.
overwritten to include this as natural, like basically is how Mahito's thing works. So I don't know if he'll be able to heal his hand or if it'll just be that gross, disgusting thing forever. It would really suck for him, because then he wouldn't be able to shake Takeda-chan's hand at all these things. She'd probably be grossed out thinking he has hand herpes or something. But But I'm just glad he survived. I was
Me too.
afraid that he was
I mean,
gonna die.
it's like Geto literally just showed up, so you never know what's gonna happen next. But
Yeah. I feel like
I love that in the locket was also Yuji was in there.
That was great.
His brother, his idol, and his brother.
The man himself.
Yeah, maybe just to be like that powerful, you just have to be kind of delusional a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
That's like I feel like that's kind of with everybody. It's all the people who die are the sort of
like normal people.
Yeah, the people who are not like the people who are fucking unhinged and crazy are the ones that are like the strongest.
That's true. Even Mahito.
It
was like way more
and now
crazy.
Yuji's clearly leveled up because he's like
it's interesting as well how he like has that like cut and then he had like
he has a scar across his
but
face.
he has like blood all here, so it was a weird visual because it was almost like Sukuna was like kind of out, like how like when Sukuna's like little mouth kind of shows up there and his eye right there, like it's weird because it had the same like visual like look of that, but that wasn't what was happening. Yuji was just like he was just kind of being super badass,
Yeah.
It's just an interesting thing that I noticed.
Well, I want to hear in the next couple episodes like Yuji reflect on this so we can really get his thoughts, but like this fucking last 10 episodes or so have really fucked with his head because his whole thing, like the fact that when he was losing before Todo showed up, he was reflecting on like his reason for fighting of like I want to at least give them a proper death. He was just like, what the fuck does that even mean? What am I doing here? This is fucked up. This is terrible. Like, I just failed. I didn't do anything. I just caused more suffering because he was trying to like, be that, altruistic guy and like fight for other people. And now that he's just fighting out of hatred for Mahito, essentially in this moment, he's like, it's kind of like in Chainsaw Man, how they say like, for those who haven't seen Chainsaw Man season 1's minor spoilers, but there's Kobeni who's like a, crazy psycho girl who's like a coward, but she's not quite a coward. She's just really selfish and unhinged and insane. She is a coward a little bit, but like, it's funny. What this show's kind of doing, and what that show did, is very similar. Where like, we were told by Kishibe in that show that like, you only get to survive if you're a little bit fucking crazy, or if you're the crazier you are, the more likely you are to survive. And then in subsequent episodes we see Kobeni like kind of come to the rescue and kill those motherfuckers who like the snake demon or like capture or kill or whatever. She pops off, and it's like you think up to that point that she's just worthless and dumb, but it turns out she's the exact kind of person that would survive in these crazy situations because she is insane and she fits perfectly. Despite her screaming and like seeming cowardice, she fits perfectly with the kind of person that Kishibe described, and that's why she's able to pop off like that. And it's like a cool kind of reveal to sort of, I guess, the power system or how things work in that. And this is kind of similar, where the more unhinged you are and the more unconcerned you are with people, the more unconcerned you are with living a normal life, the more likely you are to survive. The less human you are, the stronger you are. And that's why like the curses are so strong, all these crazy sorcerers. That's why Sukuna is so strong. Sukuna is like has long rejected his humanity, even though he was at one point human. And apparently with how he dealt with Makara, he mentioned Yamato no Orochi, which is much older than the Heian era as a myth. So like he's probably even older than that. And the way he talked to Jogo was a similar thing, where he was talking about rejecting his, not getting caught up in like comparing himself to others, but fully going his own way essentially. And then speaking of Sukuna, Mahito did the 0.2 second domain expansion like Gojo did in the subway. and he actually got in contact with Sukuna. But Sukuna isn't as pissed off at this moment. And he's like, I just kind of want to see this again. I'm safe this time. You have some kind of backup plan with Itadori. Yeah, so he knows about his plot or something to, before you switch with him. So he wants to, he knows that he wants to switch with Yuji again. Mm-hmm. Probably to, like, you know, probably with the Megami shit to switch bodies or something. Or to just gain control, probably, is what Mahito's thinking.
Yeah, well, Mahito is doing a super quick one so that he can't get overpowered by Sukuna again. Like what happened last time, but Sukuna, I think, needs to be in control of Yuji before he can activate his domain expansion over Mahito. So if he does like a 0.2 second domain expansion, then Sukuna doesn't have time to switch, and Mahito won't just get absolutely destroyed for doing it.
That makes sense. Because I didn't think of him switching in that moment, but him, but I didn't think of that as like I guess it literally is like a domain type thing. But it seems like we know that Sukuna's really quick, and it seems like if he wanted to pimp slap him here, even 0.2 of a second, he could probably make that happen, because Sukuna's like, I mean, it's all soul shit anyway. I don't know. Anyway, it seems, what I'm getting at is it seems like he's kind of letting it happen even in that moment, or it's just supposed to be too quick for him to do anything. Because it's like, but you know, how aware he is, he's not surprised that Mahito's there or that he's doing that. He's you know, there. He's not sitting on his throne or whatever. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, like, was he actually there, or was Mahito just like?
I think he was there.
Okay.
Yeah, because when Yuji was in the domain, that's how he basically was doing what Gojo did, where there's a effect to leaving the domain open. Mm-hmm. In this case, it's coming in contact with Sukuna and disrespecting and letting him feel disrespected, or giving Sukuna the opportunity to fuck him up. In Gojo's case, it was frying the brains of all those people that are now, you know, goo on the Shibuya crossing, because Mahito eventually took them and then spread them like butter over everything, or whatever happened. I guess some of them are still there, unless they all died I think they all must have got transfigured in the previous episode. Anyway, regardless, there was an effect to leaving the thing open. In this case, it's Sukuna, and he did the 0.2 to negate Sukuna being able to fuck with him, but still being able to have enough time to just get a one-hit critical on TODO here.
That was crazy how TODO blocked that, but was still like so destroyed.
Yeah, he was destroyed. TODO's the fucking man, and the fact that he survived so far, we'll see next episode, but I think he'll, like, it would be...
He had a 99% chance survival rating.
That's true. But with Mechamaru, Mechamaru's calculations so far haven't worked out too well for him, have they? So...
Well... Yeah.
Unless he was calculating to lose against Mahito and Umbrella Man. Anyway. I feel like there was more... I feel like we actually got to all of it.
Yeah, it was just a crazy action-packed... TODO cutting off his arm, that's crazy.
That's badass. That gives me, like Raikage vibes.
The fact that he, like, cut off his arm just with his... Like, he literally just used his hand to cut off his arm. You know?
With cursed energy.
I know, but it's just, like, it's just even more badass.
Yeah. That gives me serious Raikage vibes, because it's the same shit. You know, Raikage gets hit with Amaterasu, this flame that literally cannot be extinguished by any means. So the only thing to do is to cut it off. It's already done. And and it's always impressive in situations like that, because it's just the determination and it shows the mindset is what it is. It shows the fucking demon mindset that these characters are in, where they went there willing, like, they're not doing this thinking they're going to get out alive, like expecting to get out alive just because they're alive. Like, they don't have an entitlement to life. They don't have an entitlement to the life that they're living because by going into battle, they're accepting some risk. So if you already accept the risk going in, then, you know, don't be surprised when you gotta actually pay the piper. And that's that moment where it's just like, I already expect you to die at some point doing this or whatever. So it's not even a decision in the moment to do that. It's just sort of paying what you already expected to pay. It's like you're getting out with a discount every single time. I don't know. It's just crazy shit.
It's so good.
I love the return of Divergent Fist with the time delay. That was badass. And it wasn't a Black Flash the first time, was it?
No. I don't think so, at least.
He hits him. And then it's like, oh, nothing.
Oh, yeah, this is the first time.
And then he's like, oh, I'm fine. And then, pow. Yeah, it went all negative and, like, because it was negative, it looked more, like, reddish. But that's not a Black Flash. It just took him by surprise, and then he hit him with the Black Flash.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole I am you thing? That's something that we didn't really touch on. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know. I guess I haven't really, like, thought about it too much.
To me, it's just, the reason I haven't really paid much mind to it is just because it feels like, oh, I'm the evil version of the main character, like, oh, I'm the reverse, I'm just like, we're not so different, you and I, type shit. And it's like, it's such a tropey piece of dialogue that I don't like. It's one of those things that just kind of like, oh, well, that's something that every villain says, whether it's true or not. And I don't see much similarity between them when I really examine them. Like, the only similarity that there is, maybe there's more if I examine it, but the only one that I can pick out is that they're both, choosing to live this life. It's like Mahito is doing all of this out of his own whim and his desire to cause chaos and hurt people, essentially. And just be evil. That's his main goal, is to blow up and act like he don't know nobody. And Yuji is doing the same thing, but on the good side, where he's not doing this out of some because he is part of the Zenin clan and he wants to prove himself, or part of the Kamo clan and needs to prove himself to them, or whatever. Even though he may be part of the Kamo clan. He's doing this because of his own choice and his own whim. But that's like the only thing. Like what's the thing is just that he exercises cursed spirits, which in a way have some kind of humanity inherently because they're formed out of the negative emotions of humans. Therefore, they're somehow related to humans in sort of a tangential way. But I never I don't, maybe I'm not getting some deeper meaning between them, but like, other than the fact that they're both like in a way killing something, I think transfiguring humans and causing them to suffer eternally in this weird in-between state of consciousness and unconsciousness and getting turned into little, dehydrated fruit figures. I think that is much different than exercising a curse that is acting mostly on instinct and formed out of a single negative emotion, like, God, I hate doing the fucking laundry, exercising something like that, which in a way is just residual to but then again, like, maybe the thing is just maybe Jujutsu's forming this thing of that curses are much more human and it's not as different as we might think. The fact that, Mahito here in his final moments has genuine fear for his life and is scared, and then we see Jogo and Hanami and their connection, and then when Hanami gets killed, Jogo's genuinely distraught. They're kind of seeding this idea like, you're not so different, you and I. So then when we see this thing and Yuji is like the monster in this case, I guess it's just more of it's not. I guess the reason why we haven't examined it is because it's such a basic idea that. But I guess what's interesting about like the main character sort of inheriting the traits of that, like, becoming that which you want to destroy in a way. But he's only becoming that if you really consider curses as, people, and I guess they are in some cases. But it's just the sort of demonic image that Yuji's has, like how you pointed out with his teeth showing and the scars and the blood everywhere. He's much more like he's acting much more like a bad guy than a good guy. But that's kind of the extent of it. Is it's like he's still like I don't think what he's doing here to Mahito makes him like necessarily flirting with evil on the face of it. But I think that I guess it just goes back to what we were saying before, that you just and just in any shonen, in any shonen, in any hero's journey thing, it's like Luke Skywalker when he's in the tree at fucking Yoda's and he's having this dark night of the soul and he's doing his training thing. What he sees Darth Vader, or he sees himself in Darth Vader, literally. He fights Darth Vader in this like spiritual experience. The mask pops off and it's his own it's Luke Skywalker's face, and everybody's got that evil inside him. The villain is meant to like reflect the main character's spirit in some way. You need to accept the darkness in order to grow stronger, accept the shadow into yourself, and that's kind of it. And I just feel like, I guess that's why we haven't really examined it too much, because it's not as interesting or deep as the other themes in the show so far. And what's interesting in this case is just that Yuji is genuinely changing as a character, and that his I think the Yuji we're going to see after this is not going to be the Yuji that we saw early in season 1 or even throughout season 1. I think he's forever changed, and it's going to be a very different story from here on out. I wonder how it's going to affect the comedy, now that Nobara's gone, now that Megumi's almost fucking dead.
Yeah.
And Yuji is forever changed. So I don't, the dynamics are gonna end. Gojo's sealed. So like I wonder how the everyday dynamic is gonna change after this, or if there is even going to be any of that, and it's just going to go straight into the next insane arc.
Yeah.
But that's as far as like Mahito. I'm the same as you, Mahito. You were right. I didn't want to believe it. To me it feels kind of like a bit more of a weak connection. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't
think we are. I think it's just that it's not that complicated. It's just it's kind of just like we both kill. We're both, fighting for our own side. And I think maybe to some viewers that might be like, "Whoa, I never thought of them as being similar." But they're not that similar as far as their characters, or I think it's more meant to make us consider, again, they're driving home the idea that curses and humans. I think this is what it is. I think it's the story's trying to drive home the idea that like I said, curses and humans are not like they're saying like, oh, this is a war between them, whereas the two people that we know are like fucked up. There's like Sukuna, who is beyond either. He sees himself as beyond either. He has evolved to like a different state and is some sort of weird in-between at this point. Like started off as a human, took on traits of a cursed spirit, and is now like this cursed object that's hopping between bodies. And that's the same thing with Umbrella Man. Yeah. Is like there's these two creatures at this point that like started off human, accepted the essence of what it means to be a cursed spirit, or in some way, rejected humanity, and has gained substantial power at the cost of their humanity. Sukuna doesn't associate with people, really, except for Uraume, which we don't even know what the nature of that person is. And Umbrella Man is just as well sort of unconcerned with, is very concerned with like the merger of the two. So it feels like that's kind of what it is. It's like I think a regular viewer who hasn't been looking as deeply as us might not have seen that sort of theme forming of, because up to this point it's always been like, oh, the curses versus the people, and maybe it's not that deep. Maybe we're not like special or anything with seeing that. It's not really what I'm saying. It's just like, I think it's just meant to reinforce that idea that like, it's not about this fight between these two. It's about this greater theme of sort of this balance between what it means to be a curse, what it means to be a human, accepting both, you know, rejecting your humanity for power, this exchange, this sacrifice.
Also this like cycle, like Yuji talked about, like, you know, you can come back and then I'll just kill you again.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you can keep coming back and I'll just keep killing you, and I'm just like a cog in this machine, and it'll just keep kind of going around. And it's like, it's interesting because Mahito is like also a young curse as well, so it's like, you know, he come back, gets killed, this and that over and over again, and then you have the two people that have like unnaturally long lives for humans, and then they become more like curses as they like and even Tengen too. It's like, you know, just like blurring the line kind of when you have an unnaturally long life. It's and that's the other thing. It's like curses are like made from the emotions of people, and then sorcerers are kind of in the middle there. And then when a jujutsu sorcerer gets a longer life, then they become more on the curse side of things.
But not quite, as we find out.
Yeah, so it's this it's an interesting like mix going on, essentially, you know.
Anyway, what I was gonna draw was like a gradient. Is it seems like the understanding, say if you take at the start of the series, is like, you know, it's just changing the morality here, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's like good, evil, humans, cursed spirits. But it turns out that good and evil is not the right word. It's like human and like person.
The natures of the
like
two
a personhood
things.
Or, you know, deserve like having some kind of emotion or capacity for empathy, or, you know, we're just on two different sides basically. So then it's just like, okay, it's not good and evil, it's like person and person, we both have our things. And then in the middle there's like what you might consider more evil, more genuine evil, of like this not concern with either thing, because like we see Mahito has this personhood, and it complicates things, and then it's like, you know, we're just, it's, you know, but it's not it's not a new idea, and that's why we didn't.
Well, we even had kind of a similar thing with Geto, like actual Geto, not, you know, Umbrella Man,
right.
Brain Man, where it's like Geto cared about people, but then like kind of like moved away from that and was like truly in the middle of only caring about jujutsu sorcerers, which we, as we just talked about, were kind of already like separate from like normal people anyway. So that was like a weird like mix of that, because it's like, you know, you think, oh well, the curses are so evil for wanting to kill people and like make it a curse world. But, like, Geto is kind of understandable in his own, like, fucked up way. I can see how he got there. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
it's
kind of a similar thing, really. But it just seems, it is more extreme, but really only to us. Mm-hmm. Because we're human.
Yeah, because, like, fighting for your own team and then rejecting the enemy, that's in a way, you know, understandable and relatable, and, you know, on some level has a kind of honor to it, even if you're on the curse side, because you see Jogo and he genuinely cares for the cause. Mm-hmm. But you know, not caring about either and using everything to your gain, and you know, either side, and you know, betraying people on one side, like, you know, Umbrella Man going to the curse side, being like, "Oh yeah, I'm your friend."
And then capturing them.
Yeah.
So it's
and Sukuna being like, "Oh, I'll help you." "Oh no, I'm not gonna fucking help you." Or like, "Hey, Sukuna, you want to come to our side? You're kind of like us." No, fuck you. I'm gonna kill you. In fact. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this like weird like middle ground of like Sukuna or Umbrella Man. It's like they. Like is that more truly evil? Because you are like, you're not fighting for, no one else is on your side, you're by yourself, and it's just pure, as far as we can tell, selfishness.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't care about the interests of anyone other than yourself. You're not fighting for like, oh, so that people like you can have freedom, or so that you can help people,
or in a selfish way so you can be remembered.
Yeah, it's like a, you know,
it's a purely selfish exploit. And I think that's, and it's really interesting, because then it's like, what does that mean to have, what does it mean then to have connections, right? Like, because then it just means that they're their weights. They're just like, they're literally just things tying you and holding you down, because whenever people reject that, then they get stronger. But then the question is, like, at what cost? Then, like, you know, what's the point of living then? Like, what's the point of achieving all the power by rejecting all of the reasons to have power, as in, like, protecting people or whatever? Because, you know, then what's it for? Like, what is Sukuna's purpose?
It's like with Gojo, it's like, yeah, he could just kill every single person on the planet, but then like, what's the point of it?
Yeah. And that's why, like, even Geto, like, was, you know, it was fucked up, and he was approaching more of that middle ground, because he was, like, making these sacrifices of his own humanity and morality, and, like, sort of shifting the goalposts, to this much smaller group of people, and acting way more out of his own self-interest, rather than the interests of humanity, just because it's easier. You know, it's the easier road. Mm-hmm. And, it might yield some results, but it's, you know, at what point is it just not, is, like, the power, like, you know, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, it's like we exist as humans, or as cursed spirits, if you want to say it like that, you know, in relation to each other. We exist as a network. Mm-hmm. Did you know that that your memories, you know, we don't know the nature of memory psychologically, like what it actually is, but the prevailing theory of how it works is that it's not some physical, you know, etching in your brain matter that, like, fires off when you know the little, when it lights up, you know, you remember something in your mind. That's not quite how it works. It's a sequence of firing through multiple synapses. That's how memory is, like, is supposed to be encoded in our brains. So it's not energy in our brains. It's not a physical sort of, like, a sign. Like, it's not something written down somewhere in our brains that, like, when it lights up, we remember something. It's multiple nodes firing in a certain order and at a certain speed and in a certain moment, as a result of stimuli and outside interaction that causes a memory to form. So, like, you know, it's not, and you could say that's how people work in general. It's like we only exist, and then these meaningful experiences only form when we're all in a network together. And and if you're just alone, then, like, what's the point of even? There's no point of having that, and there's no ability. Like, if you think of the memory analogy and the brain analogy, if there's just one synapse, you can't really form a memory like that. You can't really form this sort of meaningful, higher experience that is more than just the meat and the gray matter inside of your head. It's like an experience that is built out of outside interaction and other things. So that's kind of that's kind of the question that you run into with, you know, achieving more and more power. Is you need it in order to survive, but to get it means to make surviving pointless, you know? And it's a weird sacrifice, a weird trade-off, especially for, like, the main character. And I guess that's under more examination, it's a little bit more interesting, but at the end of the day, it's not a new sort of idea. I do like the way that they're handling it here in this show, though, upon examination, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Anyway, anything else you want to say?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.